Hello, my name is Matt, and I'm here today to show you some of the upcoming changes to Stellaris New Horizons Total Conversion Mod version 0.8 Alpha. As you can see, we got some of the new load screens in there. Going through forward, we should now have all new load screens, so that's good news here. Let's see here. What's the cool thing? As you guys have known, we've been talking about doing a total change on the way that we do the tech tree and some aspects of the new ship, the ship designs. And going forward, one of the bigger changes that you guys are going to see here in a second is to how we work our ships. So first and foremost, you notice that the um, civilian ships no longer have just the three modules. We actually have a fourth, which is the warp core. So the matter antimatter reaction assembly. This is going to be changed. That's going to be like the nacelles and the warp matrices. We're not sure how we're going to define that, but this is where the matter antimatter is going to be producing all the power for the ship. This last one right here is for shields. Right now, we don't have any shields, so we can't select anything. Warp core, everybody is going to start at least with one warp core. Produces 150 power, and everything takes a little bit of power. As you can see in our warp drive assembly, lower cooldowns, higher recharge time, higher charge time. So basically, as soon as you warp into system, there's a lower cooldown. We want to get it as low as possible because um, the more you are stuck in a CD, the longer you are disabled and don't have shields and don't have weapons. So we want to be able to, as soon as you pop out of warp, that you're able to start fighting. Um, so that's the big change that we're doing there. Let's take a look at over here on this military ship. All right, military ships, we still have the typical warp drive, the combat computer, the engines, the thrusters, radar system sensors. Again, that tactical slot, I don't have anything researched yet, but we'll unlock something eventually here. The warp core and the shields. So we added 3 new required slots. Changed up a few things. The fission reactors or fusion reactors are large slots, so only if you have a large slots are you able to put those in. We are going to go through a complete overhaul of the energy weapons and torpedoes. That's right now, I'm going to be working on that over the weekend of September the 10th and September the 11th. So hopefully by the time you guys are watching this, we'll have about 90% of it complete, except for the graphics and localizations. That's how quickly we are turning around on that. So that's the new stuff. Going in here now, we now have the 3. It's now down to 3 texts where you're going to research. But as you can see, tactical component. The first one is an EPS relay. Goes into the tactical slot, gives cost 90 minerals to build it, but it increases your weapon attack speed by 10% because you're able to force feed it with the EPS system. Coherency modulator gives you increased weapons range. I guess it's more of a sensor weapons range enhancement. And then, of course, the basic photon weaponry, that's going to change so we can get you into the whole new stuff. But this is a leftover from the previous version, 0.7's tech revamp. Society, the pressure dome, that's going to change. We're working on a event for the planet Mars and all that. Planetary unification has now changed. You don't get that right off the bat, and actually you get it unlocks a ton of edicts. And I mean, no longer are you just restricted to the ethos or ethics of your thing, like either fanatic militaristic, fanatic individualist, fanatic pacifist, fanatic cooperative, so on and so forth. We're actually adjusting it, opening it up to everybody, but we're at the same time we're making it a lot weaker than it was if you were restricted to your ethics or your governing ethics. Yeah. So that's the big change there. And also the tech tree is now fully fleshed out. We still have some of the basic armors, but at the same time, we're introducing other armors like a polarized hull. It takes a little bit of power to run it, but at the same time, you get a lot more armor for it. So that's the big thing is that we've now start putting in all the components and trying to get it to more. It's going to be universal. Certain techs are going to be race specific. Cloaking devices to the I believe the Klingons, the Romulans, Hirogen, I think, might have some cloaking technology when we introduce the Hirogen. The Dominion, I think, have cloaking. I'm not 100% certain on that. Stay tuned to find out. Genetic engineering, specifically for the Jem'Hadar and the Vorta, so you can create clone populations based off of specific requirements such as strategic resources and or other things that we will be introducing. That's going to be going in there and going forward. See what other things. Oh, we've actually adjusted for adding more worlds. Once you have the founding of the Federation event, you are now able to actually add members. Won't tell you how you do it. You're gonna have to find out. I know it's kind of mean of me saying, "Hey, you can do this now," but I'm not going to tell you how to do it. But if I told you how to do it, it would sort of ruin a lot of the game, in my opinion, because a lot of my part and my how I find fun is testing it out and finding out, hey, this does this. Let's see, another change to the map. No more Borg. You no longer see the Borg. You are unaware of it. They are somewhere over here, but we're not sure where. So yeah, they could be here. They could be here, or they could be all the way over here. We don't know where they are. And that's part of the game is we don't know where the Borg are actually. So you have to explore, and there are key events for when you actually interact with the Borg. So that's that. Let's see here. So that's some of the changes there. Let me actually exit out of the menu here. Go to new game, and I'm actually going to show you the Alpha Beta Quadrant. It's limited now to 20 races or 20 empires. No advanced starts because I don't believe we were gonna have any advanced starts, and we're just gonna jump right in. We're gonna change some of that load screen information so it's more geared towards the player. As you can see, there's a YPS drive. We're gonna have to put in a localization, but as you can see, the cooldown's a little bit slower. We're gonna have to adjust that. And then jump time is increased significantly, and the warp speed is reduced significantly. Go combat rolls for now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Go with that one. All right, and let's take a look at the map here shortly after I start putting everybody out to explore. And let's leave that there. Zoom out. So there's Sol. As you can see, it's kind of clustered up, and Sol's actually in the middle. But it doesn't look like the galaxy that we are familiar with. It looks like a typical cluster. Hey, something way out there. That's cool. Um, and some more other systems way out there on the edge and on the fringe of things. But yeah, it's now more of a zoomed in version of the alpha beta quadrant. So let's go ahead and start running this. This will be actually one of my first time playing on this map. Actually, it's the second in time. I've actually tested it out a little bit earlier. But hmm, might have to adjust some things because
Anomaly found.
ooh, wow, yeah. Hmm. So that's different. I mean, we just did do a major change, so it might be because of that. That is different. Oh, let me try something different. I'm not sure what's going on there, why I'm not able to warp travel. Good, good, good. Interesting. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and launch that again. I'm not sure why it wasn't letting me travel to there around. So we're going to research that just right off the bat. As you can see, we've changed. We don't have the new building graphic, but it gives us the Society Dome, Society Lab. Let's see, hydroponics, check that. Replace with power plant. And there we go. Hmm. Well, that's annoying. So right now we actually can't get to Alpha Centaurus. Let me double check something. It looks like I should be able to. Hmm. Unsure about that. I'll have to do some research and get back to you on that one. So we're going to stop playing on that. Hey, this is live, and this is me experimenting. Um, so yeah, that's kind of new. Anything else we've changed in here? Races. Ah, yes, the Tholian cities. It's going to change a little bit. They're going to take a second pass at it, I was told. Let's see. We're going to go with that for right now. Let's go to the alternative map. Make sure I can actually play properly. Okay, so that's interesting. I'll have to talk to my coworkers on that one. So that's interesting. Anyways, let's see here. So that's the big news is that we actually got a whole new system for the ships. And from that, you can also see we've changed how some of the armors now is. We're changing how a lot of the stuff is now that we have shields as a required component. Armor is going to be passive, so you can stack as much or as little in the utility slots. There's other stuff that you can put in the utility slots to help increase or decrease your ship's performance or other ships' performances. Um, Also, as you can see, like this one is pretty cheap at 10 minerals, gives you one armor and 2% more hull. We might change the values a little bit, but for the most part, that's what armor is going to do: is give you a little bit more armor, but gives you a little bit more whole hit points. We might change it. We're still not 100% on if we want to give you a flat bonus like 250 hull points, or if we want to just give you a bonus to your hit hull points at like 2%, 3%, so on and so forth. I'm going to go with polarized hull just so I can get stuff. Let's take a look at the Earth here. Why don't I have enough energy? Hmm, interesting. We're gonna have to figure out. Oh, as you saw in here, pressure power plant. It's supposed to be designed for a K class environment or an environment where there's little to no atmosphere. We're still trying to figure out a way how to hide it if it's not on a K class planetoid. Um, we think we might have found a way to check for that. We'll get back to you on a later episode. Hopefully, we get that straightened out. So that's going on there. Yeah, let's go ahead and build that. Alrighty. Alrighty, two. Put you in orbit. So yeah, that's the big changes that we've done is introducing a full technical tree overview. Let's see if I can't pull it up in a separate view here so you guys can see it. Pinned messages. Let's take a look. at this. I apologize for my little delay. I'm actually opening up all three documents so you guys can see them one after another here. And it's being a little slow opening it. There we go. Collapse that. Disable that. And all right, almost ready here for you guys to take a look at it. Percent zoom. Go. All right, let's pull it up now. All right, there we go. I just switched over to the engineering tree, so now you can see it. As you can see here, we have 9 techs, starting with your tier 0 or your starting tech. You're going to have another one over here that is tier 1, which is Enterprise era. The tier 2 is Coalition of the Planets era. Tier 3, which is Early Federation. Tier 4 is Original Series, so Captain Kirk and them. Tier 5 is the Motion Picture era, which is Star Trek, the Motion Picture, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, Final Frontier, Star Trek 5, and then Star Trek 6, so Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, Star Trek, that covers all of them. Star Trek, so Tier 6 is Enterprise C, which would be the Ambassador class era ship, Enterprise C. So we skipped Generations, which is still considered part of the early or late motion picture era. And then Tier 7 is Star Trek The Next Generation. Tier 8 is Voyager era or later. And then Tier 9 is Prelude to 2409, a nod to Star Trek Online. As you can see, we've changed it all for everything, including how we want to look at stuff and how we want to link things up. This is the physics tree with the blue. And as you can see, there's splashed in green and the engineering orange. That just means these are requisite texts that tie into these that you actually have to have researched to unlock a certain tech. And then in society, you can see there's a lot of stuff, a lot of trees, a lot of different branches, things that are you're going to have to either research or go down to actually do anything of really of note or value inside of the total conversion. So yeah, that right there was the biggest thing, changing up all the different technologies and then rewriting it and then writing the code for in the code weights for all of it. That was a labor of love that I had to do for this to get to the point where we can start stress testing it and start writing the or drawing the artwork for the new technology and the new components that go with the technology. Um, as you can see here, there's a lot of interconnection,
Anomaly found.
a lot of different things that are just going on. Some of it is just straight down the lines. Other than some of them are like require like either ors. You go down one tree and then you can come back, or you just go down one tree and that's it. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Let's go back here. Let's take a look at what's going on. Let's go ahead and research that. Take a look. So that's inactive. How do I want to do this? Let's move. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of a energy surplus going here. Let's see. That's fine. Let's speed this up a little bit and try to get a colony ship so we can see if we can't colonize Mars right off the bat. That was also another thing that you guys brought up, where you guys were saying you can go to deep space, colonize planets far off, terraform everything, but you're unable to colonize a planet in the backyard, which is Mars. And yay! All right. So we changed a little bit of that. We're looking at doing an event for Mars to where it uses like the Verteron array, a couple pressurized buildings. Once you meet those requirements, it increases
Research complete.
the base habitability of the planet. So that's coming down. As you can
Anomaly found.
see, some of the edicts
Research complete.
now are exclusive of one another. Like you can no longer do encourage free thought and information quarantine. Because if you actually are going to do encourage free thought, you can't quite quash the information or the flow of information. You can try, but it just doesn't make sense. So that's why we're not allowing that. Let's go ahead and go planetary unification so we can show you some of that stuff there. Do I have enough? Nope.
Station complete.
Hmm. There we go. Let's see here. I could cheat, run things along a little bit for you guys, but no, I'm actually going to play this one through. Um, Try to show you guys some stuff. Let's see here. Two. Let's see here. What else can we discuss? Um, yeah, that's actually a big thing right there. I totally forgot about that. Um, let's see. I'm not sure about that. So one of the things that you guys brought up is some of the fallen empires and the ring worlds. We're trying to find a way to stop that from actually occurring because I think we want to have one or two surprises in there in store, but at the same time, we don't want to have the ring worlds pop up and it causes a crash of any game systems. So we're trying to find those bugs and get rid of them. Let's see, new artwork and portraits. What do we got? Let's see here. Oh, nope. Oh, localizations is coming along. It looks like we're about like 20%, 30% on the Russian translation. And we got a guy who's really, really digging into that, and it's good to have people do some localizations other than for English and German, because we want to have this multicultural, just like Star Trek is, and allow people to play in their native language. Let's see what other thing is there. Ooh. Well, that takes care of that one. We've already discussed that. The balances. We are doing a major overhaul of the weapons and torpedoes, shields, and armor. Trying to get it to be a little bit more balanced and feel a little bit more like Star Trek. But at the same time, it's coming along. It's I think we're having a big meeting Sunday with a lot of us who are doing the scripting and changing of stuff, how we want to approach some of this newer things. I don't know which one we want to go with. Let's go with that. So yeah, that's the biggest thing is just trying to make it so plasma weapons aren't overly overpowered at the start. I mean, there's supposed to be like a little weaker version of the phasers and disruptors, but that might change. Depends on how we want to approach certain things. Another thing that we're looking at doing is, I believe, so the big thing is that we're doing is on these combat ships, the tactical slots. That's the big change. We're looking at doing like utility buffs, like 5% to weapons range, 10% weapons fire rate, stuff like that, that you can slap in there. But it's going to take a lot of energy for your ship to run and a lot of minerals to build. So that's replacing the H slot that we were using for the hull designs for the light cruisers / heavy cruisers through the different eras. So that's what's going to go in those tactical slots. Eventually, we're going to try to phase in, hopefully, some runabouts or strike craft. The small little one-man fighters that you see, or shuttlecraft that you see in Star Trek, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine for the runabouts, the Delta Flyer from Voyager, Nemesis with the Scorpion fighters for the Romulans, and the list goes on. We're looking at introducing those possibly at a later time, but it's just opening up that possibility that we're going to get rid of those hanger slots or the hanger hull modifier slots now that we have the tactical slot, where we can even, if we needed to, could add a defensive slots. And there's ways where we can limit it to where only certain species get access to certain tactical slots, such as the cloaking devices are only researchable by the canonical races that have cloaking technology. The Romulans, the Klingons, are the two big ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Multi-vector assault modes. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but in the original scripts for Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the refit Constitution was supposed to separate the saucer from the main engine or the secondary hull, because of a battle with the Klingons, and that ended up getting scrapped, but it ended up becoming incorporated into Phase 2. And if you're familiar with Phase 2 was ended up becoming Star Trek: The Next Generation. So, and that's we saw that the saucer separation in the encounter at Farpoint Station, the very first episode. So hopefully, oh, cool. As you can see, this map's kind of random. Eta Cassiopeia is typically where you would see Terra Nova, but in this case, it's not. We didn't get it this time around, and it varies. I mean, it's weighted to where it does show up, but at the same time, there is a chance where Terra Nova won't show up. So you're gonna have to deal with that as a shocker. So let's go ahead and survey the system here. See what this this unfolds. All right, just looking at from this, it looks like it's the typical Alpha Centauri that we play on. But until we get in here and actually see what planets, we don't know if it's the. There's three versions we have. We have Alpha Centauri 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the more widely accepted lore for Star Trek, and then Alpha Centauri 2 is a more balanced approach to the planet, because it's supposed to be more balanced because we don't want it to be too overly habitable, to have too much habitable planets. And then the first type that we have is just a generic G star class star system, which actually we all see down here in Eta Cassiopeia, where it's just a random G class star system that sort of mirrors the development of Earth. Whether or not it actually has habitable planets is based off of random chance and probability. So that's actually it's one of the cool things about this alternative map is it's weighted to be a little bit more lore friendly, but at the same time, it gives you a replay value where it will change. Star positions will change slightly over time, where it'll go up or down on the XY axis, left or right, also. And it'll just change over time where certain stars are, so you don't really know where you'll have a general idea whether like Eta Cap is always going to be on the 7 o'clock position, or it could be over here by 8, or even it's not going to be at 9, but it's going to be like somewhere down over here in this area. And it has a wide range where it can float to and from. Epsilon Eridani also has a little bit of lower range where it's going to go left or right, up or down, just mainly because we want to give it some variation, but at the same time we want to keep it to where things aren't moving around too much. Like Jara, I believe this is the Jabral Supernova. It could be something different, but I believe it's that one. I think we removed that glitch where it would produce two different ones in the area. Sometimes it'll be way over here, sometimes it'll be up here, other times it'll be way down over here. So, I mean, it's really nice because sometimes I'll play a game and then all of a sudden I'll get a the low value Alpha Centauri A, and I'll get a the Eta Cassiopeia that I got here, and my Epsilon Eridani is a basic K class star system. So it's like really, really a bad start for me. So I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? Because I've had actually where I've only had the one star in Alpha Centauri, and that's Alpha Centauri A. And it's like, okay, well, now I have to really think how I'm going to do this because I can't just willy nilly expand everywhere. So I have to, pick and choose where and how far I want to go. And it's actually kind of fun doing that. As you can see, it's a medium, requires 11 power, gives you 11 armor, and as you can see, my armor went up. We don't have the graphics in yet, but we're going to be working on that and hopefully getting some of that out over the weekend, at least for 50% or more of the newer components that we're tossing in here. I know we got some of them for the armor, not all of them, but we have a few. All the tactical
Research
components,
complete.
there are none, and that's a whole new system that we
Scan of planet complete.
just came up with. We're looking at doing a major overhaul. Yeah, that was a good one. I wanted to show that one.
Incoming transmission.
Let me pause the game real quick. This right here is going to be changing. That's not going to be in this next release, version 0.8. We're looking at pushing that a little bit back further because we're starting to understand how we can do certain things better with scripting, doing things better with hidden traits or hidden attributes for a certain country, that we can get them so they can join you. Because I know everybody that has emailed me personally or contacted me over my either Facebook, through Facebook Messenger or through YouTube, has said, "Hey, what's up with the Andorians being pacifists? They're not pacifists. They're aggressive, militaristic, very militant. The antithesis to the Vulcans." And I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, they are. We're working on it, and that's actually coming down the road. So that's going to be changing here shortly. Yeah, so that's going to be for version 0.9. Hope you guys are going to enjoy that. I know I've been really stressed out about this version 0.8 launch because I was heavily involved in that, and please guys bear with me. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to learn how to do certain things at the same time, make it so it's playable for you guys, because that's what I want. I want you guys to be able to enjoy it right off the bat. So, it's been a labor of love. I rather enjoy it. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and explore Alpha Centauri. Let's see what we got here. See what the surface looks like. Probably should move things around here a bit. Speed up
Spatial vessels detected.
production. Ooh, no. Actually, I do want to keep that. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to do this. Anyways, I was slacking. And someone's probably screaming at me, "Why aren't you doing this?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Forgive me." So there we go. So yeah, that's the big news. You know, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. There we go.
Research complete.
And let's go ahead and pick up that genome mapping. That's always fun to do. 10% food, 10 more years of life. What more could you ask for? Let's see here. Let's see if we got anybody else that I can recruit. Maniacal. I don't want maniacal. Meticulous. Nope. Ooh, that actually would be pretty good. Let's go ahead and recruit that.
Affirmative.
As much as I like having the leadership gain,
Affirmative.
right now I want to speed up growth on Earth. I think we might be able to do that now. There we go. As you can see, it unlocked a lot more. Originally, we only had the re-education campaign. Minerals, infrastructure, social engineering. We're going to have to change some of those thing. Yes, peace festivals now give you a lot more happiness, but if you are in a war, it gives you a ton of unhappiness. Illegal aliens, border controls, we're going to have to change that. You know what? Let's go ahead and spiritual unity. Food and growth time, war happiness.
Incoming
I'm not at a
transmission.
war, so that's cool. So I'm okay with that.
Anomaly
So
found.
go ahead and take a look at Alpha Centauri. What do we got here? Oh, looks like it's a pretty decent one. Al Rigel can be habited. So we'll find out if it's habited or
Enemy
not.
vessels detected.
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
Almost ready here. Should be ready here shortly. And you'll see that right
Research
now
complete.
it's gonna be difficult. These will unlock. Right now I believe, yeah, you only have the one module based off of the stuff that you unlocked. So we're gonna go missiles because we want to upgrade that.
Station complete.
All right, so colony sheep's up. As you can see right now, it's uninhabitable.
Research complete.
Means it's going to be a bad place to actually try to build a colony on because there's no happiness. So that's going to change. We're looking at trying to do some stuff to once you land on there, converts things around. That'll come out later. That was a big thing. We had a large discussion on that about a week or two ago. and it was pretty good. We had some good ideas, had some great ideas float around, and got people working on it now, trying to get things going. So yeah, that's going to be great. Hopefully, once we get that going, so we can get you guys in there and actually have settle on Mars. But in the
Research
meantime,
complete.
let's go ahead and look at that. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to look at. I'm gonna have to look at Xeno diplomacy. 'Cause we just did a recent minor change on the society tree. On how we wanted to do certain things, and I'm gonna have to go through and re-edit that, and that's just it takes time trying to get it up.
Anomaly found.
Wow, 25. Let's go ahead and settle that one. Looks like a good planet to do that on. Let's go settle right there. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Wow, that was actually a pretty decent start, and that's a 16 planet, so that's really cool. Unknown size and an unknown size. 15. Oh, wow. So yeah, Alpha Centauri is this is probably one of the better ones that I've seen spawn for me. So so yeah, that's really what's going on now. Gives you a great idea what's coming in version 0.8. Hopefully, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'll be more than willing to try to explain or try to answer your guys' questions. Yeah, and yeah, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe if you want to continue to get more information on what's going on in Star Trek New Horizons Total Conversion mod. I love doing this. Between working a full-time job and doing this as part of the mod community, it's really fun. So enjoy this a lot. I mean, I wanted to try to get this out here for the Star Trek 50th anniversary, so I'm going to be getting this up here shortly to YouTube. So guys, please enjoy, live long and prosper, and thanks for watching.